Welcome to Scott Cooks. Today I'll be making classic southern dish, chicken and peaches. We're going to do all of that in the Ninja Foodi. This is going to be great. Stay tuned. Let's go over the ingredients. Please check the description for details. I'll put everything in the description, quantities, stuff like that. But anyway, we'll be using some ginger, Worcestershire, chicken broth. You can use a scallion, but I'll be using a sweet onion. You're going to need some peaches that you've taken the skin off of. Now these peaches I had frozen. I grew these on my tree out there in the front yard. And as many peaches as you want for this recipe. This is probably about 8 to 10 smaller size peaches, skinned off and pitted. You can do this with chicken thigh breast, but I'll be using chicken thighs. I got 4 good sized chicken thighs here. These chicken thighs are frozen. So the first thing we're going to do is put them in the pressure cooker. Let's get going. To the Ninja Foodi, add 1 cup of water. Set your chicken thighs or breast down in there. Now, obviously, if your chicken is not frozen, please skip this step. Pop on your pressure lid. Make sure you set it to seal, which is right there. Power up your Foodi. Defaults to high. Depending on how much chicken you got in there, will depend on how much time you need. I got 4 good sized chicken thighs. I'm going to do 15 minutes, maybe a 5-minute natural. And that'll take care of that for me. See you back in a few. Actually, let's get prepared. We're going to go ahead and dice up that onion while we're waiting. Now, obviously, for this step, you guys use as little or as much as you like. This is a pretty good size onion, so I don't think I'll use it all. So let's start by cutting up about half of it and see what we got. Remember, we're mixing onions or scallions with sweet peaches. So you don't want to overpower the peaches. Yeah, I think that's going to be plenty right there. So I got a half of I call it a medium-sized sweet onion. And I've had this onion before from the same package, and they are good and sweet. Give them a pretty decent chop. Whoops. I'll leave that in. That was funny. Anyway, about that size. If you have fresh garlic, go ahead and grate that up too. I'm using this really cool thing. You might have seen it before. Squeezed ginger. I said garlic. I apologize. I meant ginger. If you have a ginger root, this is the time. Go ahead and cut it up. I'm using this squeezed ginger. Really, really good. Surprisingly good. I'll be honest with you. When your Foodi has reached the 5-minute natural, it's time to release the pressure. Use something other than your hand. When the button drops, it's safe to remove the lid. A couple more seconds here on this one, and here's a little tip there is. A little tip for you. I placed a plate underneath of my basket, That way when I pull out the wet chicken thighs, I can go in, and while I'm doing other things, it's going to drip for a minute. So at least it'll drip on there instead of all over my counter. Also, I'm going to spray very lightly the inside of the basket. Okay, this chicken is pretty much cooked. So what we want to do now is get it crispy. If you don't want it crispy, you can skip this step. But crispy chicken with peaches is kind of what we're after. So personally, I wouldn't skip the step, but do what you want. So I'm just going to scoop these out, and then I'm going to go drain the liquid from this pot. Because I think if you've watched my other videos, you know I'm a firm believer that the air crisp mode will not work properly if there is liquid in the bottom of the Foodi. The air circulation cannot circulate. So let me go dump that, and we'll get going on the air crisp. All right, here we go. Lid down. We're going to switch this over to air crisp. 390 is the default, and I'm after 10 minutes. And we'll go ahead and crisp those up. There should be no need to flip them. That's how air crisp works. The air is circulating all around and underneath too. Once they're good and crispy, we're going to pull those out and work on our peaches. And just to get you prepped for the peaches, we're doing 3/4 cup of chicken broth, 1 tablespoon of ginger, and 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. And we're going to cook those onions down first. If you remember, those are sweet onions. We're going to start with cooking these down in a little bit of oil in the Foodi once we get the chicken out. That is the 10-minute mark. Oh, nice and crispy. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, once again, out with the basket. I've got that handy dandy plate sitting over here. Set that right on. Okay, the Foodi is good and hot. So we're going to put approximately 1 tablespoon of oil right into the bottom. Let's go in with those onions. And we're going to switch the Foodi over to sear saute medium. And we're going to start cooking these onions down a little bit. It's good and hot. This won't take long. Once your onions cook down, become a little translucent and starting to brown on the edges, go ahead and add your ginger. Now this is squeezed ginger, so this might look a little weird to you. But trust me, you should go get this. It's just amazing. All right, we're in with the ginger. Let's just stir. Oh, boy. Whew, I'm sorry. That smell. Oh my gosh. Big ginger fan, y'all. Let's just combine the ginger and the onions. Get things moving along here. Beautiful. Okay. In with your 3/4 cup of chicken broth. Now, of course, that's going to cool things down for a second. But in the Foodi, it's only going to take about a minute, literally a minute, to come back to temperature. And we're going to use that to do just a little of the deglazing, just get a little of that nice crispy brown off the bottom. We want that mixed in with everything. There we go. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Well, I wish I knew how to pronounce that, but you know what it is. I might not can say it right, but it sure does taste good. And that is that. Let's get this to a simmer, and we'll add our peaches. Now my peaches are frozen. I've been thawing them. They're still partially frozen. So it's going to take an extra second or two for me. And I'm going to go ahead and move the Foodi up a notch in temperature to medium high. I want to get this to a little bit of a simmer. All right, y'all, that's the simmer I'm looking for. I'm going to go ahead and add my peaches in. In case anyone was wondering about the chicken over there, I just checked it. Put that on hold for you. About 178. 165 plus is recommended for chicken, so we're perfectly cooked on the chicken. I'm going to leave this on medium high for a few more minutes just because these peaches are frozen. So see that right there. So we're just going to let these thaw out and start cooking down on us. This is going to be some kind of good. Boy, I wish you could smell what I smell. Peaches, sweet onions, ginger. Some kind of good. Y'all stay tuned now. I'm going to do something a little different, a little special. Something you can only really do with the Ninja Foodi. I'm going to do that just coming up here in a couple minutes. Stay tuned. Alright, what we're after here, first off, we're trying to thaw our peaches, obviously. That's about done. And we're going to leave this on medium-high sear saute because we're looking for a simmer. And we're trying to thicken this up. This is going to be more like peach preserves and a sauce. Air quote that. There's my simmer. So everybody's going to be different on this step if you're trying to recreate this. It depends on how much liquid you put in and how many peaches you put in. But just simmer it till you get it to a thick consistency. All right, here's that little, I'm going to call it a secret. It's not really a secret. But what we want to do now is we're going to broil the peaches that are in there. We're going to give them sort of an outdoor on the grill sort of texture. Close your lid. Switch it over to broil and fire it up. Now we do need to check these. We certainly don't want to burn anything. But we do want to sort of blacken or crisp the top of those peaches. And once we get that done, we're ready to serve. This is 3 minutes under broil. You can start to see they're darkening already. We're almost there. We are 5 minutes in, and I see what I'm after. Got a little bit of brown, crispy edges. So I think we're going to go about 1 more minute and call it. Here we go, guys. Crispy skinned chicken thighs, pressure cooked and air crisped in the Ninja Foodi with a homemade peach sauce on top. Chicken and peaches, y'all. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Leave me some comments. Make sure you click the like button and the bell for notifications. Don't forget to check the description box for some links, Patreon, ingredients, etc. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Hope you guys give it a try. We'll see you on the next one.